This is Cryptids and Comedians, the show where two stand-up comics talk about mythical creatures, legendary monsters, and fabled beasts, the same way we talk about the night we crushed in front of 7 people at the Laugh Factory. But it was the best show ever, even though there were only 7 people there to verify it. But it was a great night. It was 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, crushing in front of 7 people in Hollywood. I'm Thom Tran with my co-host Peter Murphy.
Hey, how's it going, Peter? And you know, I that was my family. My family was in town. We were the 7 people, and Tom was great that night.
It was literally just Peter and 5 family members, and they didn't even pay for tickets. I comped them.
Yeah, and then the 7th person was the door guy. They count.
God, I have that set recorded, and I watch it sometimes, and I think to myself, God, don't let my dad be right.
You can hear my laugh, and it's nice. I'm like a guest star in that.
We're both stand-up comedians. We live here in Hollywood, and we perform all over the world, which gives us the opportunity to fuel our obsession to discover cryptids from all over the place. Every week, we talk about a different cryptid. I tell Peter about the history, lore, cultural significance, pop culture references, and if there is any evidence. And he tells me why I'm wrong. And
I'm a little skeptical, yeah.
A little skeptical. And to reiterate, once again this week, because we are in spooky season, we have moved. It's not that we've moved away from cryptids. We are, in addition to cryptids, talking about mythical creatures, legends, stories from mythology. We're throwing that all into the mix. But I like alliteration. We're keeping the show called Cryptids and Comedians, but also I made the logo. So it's a lot, and I don't want to change that. As always, for people who are here for the first time or just don't know, Peter, can you tell me what a cryptid is?
Well, I don't know anything you just said, but I know that a cryptid, it's kind of like when you're doing origami and you mess up, but it's like a happy mistake, and you were trying to create a swan, but you just create like a big bunny face with bigger ears than you wanted. And then it turns into, and then, you know, oftentimes it can turn into like a cootie catcher, which is like, you know, one of those things where you go 1, 2, 3, you know, pick a number, pick a color, and then, you know, you get your fortune read. It's like, you know, it's like a happy mistake that, you know, I think everybody can interact with, and, you know, everyone can kind of enjoy. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
So is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, incorrect. A cryptid is any creature or animal that is rumored to exist, but there's no actual evidence or scientific proof to show that it actually does exist.
I'll get it one of these days.
One of these days. We're still in spooky season all month long in October, and because of that, we are talking about myths and creatures and legends related to Halloween, and this is one of those very on the edges subjects. We are talking about bedsheet ghosts and why they're kind of real.
Bedsheet ghosts?
Bedsheet ghosts.
That sounds like a term for a frat guy that like sleeps with the whole friend group. Oh yeah, Chad, he's a bedsheet ghost.
That is not what a bedsheet ghost is. You'll be familiar with a bedsheet ghost.
Oh yeah.
Very traditional looking image of a bedsheet ghost. A figure draped in a simple white sheet with a dark cutout eyes, and it's one of the most recognizable and enduring depictions of a ghost in history. You are familiar with this, correct?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
Well, I mean, there's kind of a real reason ghosts look like this. Have you ever wondered why? Like this was our idea or our portrayal of what a ghost looks like? Have you ever wondered that?
Why? Yeah. Well, no. Why is that?
Okay. Well, because although they are, you know, playful and childish kind of looking right now, especially with movies, the way they are depicting ghosts, and it's more of a Halloween costume than anything else. There's a reason that we believe ghosts look like this, or an origin point for why ghosts look like this. And it stems back to ancient burial practices. The association of white sheets with death begins with burial customs. For centuries, particularly in Europe, the dead were commonly wrapped in a simple white shroud before being placed in the ground. The shrouds were practical. They were made of linen, which was inexpensive and accessible, And they also symbolize purity and transition and the soul leaving the body. So people imagine seeing spirits of the departed, they'd often see them as being wrapped in these cloaks in their burial wrappings. Now imagine you just went to see a loved one who's being buried and they are draped in this, right?
Yeah.
And then what if they come back to life?
Oof.
That whole thing comes up. That whole shroud wrapped body now wakes up. And that's what you see. So that's why for a long time, people thought this was an accurate depiction of what a ghost was. Because it wasn't so much the ghost or the spirit, it was the body wrapped under that shroud coming back up.
That's how they used to bury dead people?
That's how they used to That's how they used to
bury
bury
dead people.
Dead people. They'd wrap them in these burial shrouds. And I mean, that's a creepy
Oh,
photo.
whoa. This is like, okay. This is like a bastardized American version of mummification.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, the Egyptians had mummies. We're just gonna, tie up a bed sheet and do
Right.
our own American way.
Right.
Ah, so lazy.
But it wasn't.
yeah, I'd be terrified.
It wasn't just Americans. I mean, it started in Europe, and it started
okay.
with like ancient traditions because you could access linens. You can get white linens, and people would be wrapped in them. Do you know what was one of the most significant people wrapped in a shroud?
The guy who invented Bed Bath & Beyond.
No.
Oh, okay.
It would be Jesus.
Really? Jesus was wrapped up like a bedsheet ghost?
Yeah. I mean, the Shroud of Turin, which is purportedly the actual burial shroud of Jesus, for years, people have debated it. I'm not sure if they've actually clarified this. I know the church, being a former Catholic, I know the church was big on not letting people like tamper with this shroud. But if you look at it, you can see the outline of what looks like the face of a man who they assume was Jesus. So the assumption was Jesus was wrapped in this burial shroud. And when the resurrection happened, the energy from the resurrection like overcame Jesus, and that energy became translated onto this burial shroud, which is why you can see, and it looks like he's got spikes in his holes from the spikes in his hands where he was nailed to the cross.
Oh.
So burial shrouds are why and where we get the image of ghosts that we have of these people who are dressed up, in these white sheets. Because again, it's not really the spirit. It is, imagine if you would, a person, your loved one is wrapped in that sheet and they come back to life. And now their body comes up and they awaken inside that burial shroud. That's why you get that look.
It's like, oh, I know I'm dead and everything, but this, these bed sheets are kind of comfortable.
Yeah. Yes. So the pajamas you don't want to get out of when you have to leave the house. Like, fun fact, if you ever see me in public wearing a hoodie, 1000% I'm still in my pajamas. I threw over my Gibson garage hoodie that I got from Nashville, and I'm just, yeah.
And for me, if you see me in public, I'm really embracing my Latino roots, and I am 9 times out of 10 in Cookie Monster pajamas and eating Red Hot Cheetos.
Excellent. Medieval ghost stories in Europe frequently described spirits as being pale, white, or draped in flowing cloth. So again, it comes back to the idea of like your loved one died or a person died and they're wrapped in this burial shroud. And when people die, of course, they lose the color of their face and they become pale. We've all seen zombie movies, and they're wrapped in this. This cloth. They're wrapped in a bed sheet, or now it's a bed sheet, but they're wrapped in their burial shroud, and they come back to life. They can't see. That's where the eyes come from. They poke holes in there for their eyes. That's not really what happens, but that's where this image of ghosts come from.
There's like, all right. So growing up in Florida, there's where I grew up. There's like a lot of old people there, obviously, and in every
hell you say, old people in Florida. The hell you say.
The every other friend's house has a piece of furniture where someone died. It's like, hey, that's the recliner that Grandpa died in, or like, oh, Aunt May, died, on that love seat, and I just I just wonder if they were burned or they're buried with that furniture, how much more fun funerals could be rather than just like bed sheets, you know?
So if your Aunt May, are we talking Peter Parker's Aunt May?
Oh no, with great,
Just in general, Aunt
just
May.
any aunt.
Okay. So Aunt May gets buried with her favorite
Where she died.
pastel. Oh,
If she like, yeah, in every other friend's house, there's a piece of furniture where someone died.
oh, you're me. Oh,
Like they died,
literally
like
in the bed.
Grandpa died on the recliner. Mom died on the lanai in a reclining, in like a beach chair, and like, that's what
And they
should
keep
be buried
those.
with.
People
Yeah,
keep that?
they do. Yeah, there's not the same culture out here in LA as like stooping. There's no real stooping in
What
Florida.
is stooping?
Stooping's like, you live in an apartment complex and it's like, I don't want this a coffee table anymore, so I'm just gonna bring it down to the lobby, leave it out front of the apartment complex, leave it on the stoop if you're in New York City, or leave it in like the apartment common area for somebody else to take if they want.
We call that littering.
Littering. In
Which call
Florida,
littering.
if you see that, that's like reason to start a couch party.
Oh, we talked about couch parties.
I think we talked about couch parties.
We've talked about couch
But yeah,
parties.
there's like less stooping there. Sometimes it's like, yeah, we should make funerals more fun. Like wherever they died, like let's stage them there.
I
If
don't
they had a
like
heart
that.
attack,
I
they had a
don't
heart
like
attack
that.
eating wings, but big old plate of wings and the table that they died at.
I don't like any of that.
Bring them back there.
like
Yeah.
any of that.
Well, I mean, I don't like the spooky ghost sheets either. It's
true.
too accessible. It's too accessible, which is what makes it scary. We all agree that this is scary, whether you believe in ghosts or not. If you think there's a human underneath there, you're like, why did they do this? Why did they ruin these sheets? And what did they come here for? And how close is this person to a KKK type of a garb?
All right, I
Right.
wasn't going to go there. I was going to actually, but you know what? I can. I
You
don't.
can see
I
it
can't
though,
not
right?
See it. I
You
can't.
can't not see it. Not now. Yeah.
What if?
Mm.
What if ghosts are just angry that people keep confusing them with racists? What if that is what's keeping them tied to this earth? They're like, dude, I got a black friend. I died with my black girlfriend.
Right.
Or if they're black, they're like, I died with my one white friend.
That's their unfinished business. Once racism is cured, we will have no ghosts anymore.
Oh my God, that's what we got to do to get rid of all the ghosts.
Yeah.
We should write a movie
And racism. Okay.
where we find out that that's what's keeping spirits tied to the earth.
Racism.
Like racism. Because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this damn KKK group they keep dressing up like we don't have a choice. People put us in shrouds. We're like, ugh.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
Like
these dickheads.
if this is consistent, then let's have that person buried in the recliner that they died in, or at the table at Hooters that they had the heart attack at. And so then in the afterlife they can just kind of pick up where they left off.
Okay, here's a thought. I lost the thought.
Alliteration.
No.
Okay.
Instead of burying people in their shroud, what if you just bury them in whatever they're wearing when they died? I see the pride. You know what? As soon as I said it, I already see the problem with it, because then they got to go to the hospital and they got to tear their shirt open and get this, and then you ruin your favorite Jets jersey.
Ha. Yeah. Or
Jets.
I'd get buried with my Cookie Monster sweatpants.
Is that okay? So let's talk about that. You're going to die. I mean,
Right.
we all know we're going to die, but
Speak for yourself.
you know you're gonna die, and people are like, all right, your mom is like, all right, you have to plan out your wedding. You got to plan out your funeral.
That's a death of sorts as well.
See
Am
what
I
you did
right,
there?
boys?
All right, new comedy and old
Gonna
comedy,
die.
worlds collide.
Gonna die. It's a death. Put a burial shroud over my shroud.
So hacky. You have to pick out what you're wearing at your funeral. What are you wearing?
Okay. Straight up. tank top, sunglasses, and okay, tank top, sunglasses, Cookie Monster sweatpants with thong sandals,
Classy.
but underneath, I'm wearing the Borat Speedo.
But
For me.
For you. So
For
just,
me.
So in the afterlife,
Yeah.
you want to be wearing the Borat Speedo
Yeah.
just for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I picked that outfit because, like, that's the best outfit for me to get Weekend at Bernie'd, I think.
Oh, my God.
You know, if they want a Weekend at Bernie me.
Right.
Parrot head type shirt, you know, Jimmy Buffett situation.
Okay.
Could be great. What about you? What are you getting buried in? What's your ultimate burial outfit?
Oh, boy. Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet t-shirt. The original album art. Not the one that they had to put on, because the original album art, if you don't know, Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet, only one of the most influential rock records of the last 50 years, but that's fine, whatever.
Yeah, no, great.
The original album art was a buxom young lady in a t-shirt that was very tight, and she was all wet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And
now I get it.
yeah. But in 1986, that was, you know, you can put that in Walmart or whatever. So they actually, and I heard the story. I didn't know what it was, but the album that they wound up releasing, they grabbed a garbage bag and they sprayed it down with water, and then they just wrote "Slippery When Wet" with their finger, and they took a photo of it, and that became the album cover.
Ha ha. Wow. Hey.
So,
Okay, you're wearing that as a shirt.
that's my t-shirt. Bon Jovi original Slippery When Wet t-shirt. I'm wearing Ranger panties, extra small, extra tight.
Ranger
panties. So
What's that?
Special operations community, we wear gym shorts, PT shorts that are, okay, imagine 1970s basketball shorts. Okay? Are those in your head?
I don't want them to be.
But they are, right?
Yes.
Imagine they're shorter than that. Those are Ranger panties.
Ew.
Yeah. We wear them for PT. So I'm wearing Ranger panties, a Slippery When Wet t-shirt.
Wait, Ranger panties, is that common? If like I said that to
Military people. Yeah,
military people, they get okay.
they know what Ranger panties.
Slippery When Wet, Ranger panties. What else? What else you want?
Skechers. My Skechers slip-ons. You know why? Because they're effing comfortable.
Wow.
I know people crap on Skechers. If I'm going to be in the afterlife, wherever I'm going, up, down, sideways, wherever, I need comfort on my feet. So I'm wearing.
But you're a ghost and you're floating around, Tom. Checkmate.
Damn it. Still wearing Skechers.
Yeah.
Slip-ons, still wearing Skechers. If I'm dead, I'm in the afterlife. Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet t-shirt, Ranger panties, Skechers, and socks from Costco. Because you know what? $25 pack of socks from Costco has lasted me literally since the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's scarier than a sheet over someone's head.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
If I saw that in a dark alley, I'd run the other way. Run.
Back to Bedsheet Ghosts. In the Middle Ages, written accounts depicted revenants, people returning dead, who appeared in sheets, fabric used to wrap corpses. So again, the burial shroud that people are in. The visual connection between the dead body and the lingering soul was very strong. To see a ghost was often described as seeing the burial shroud itself animated. So like I was saying, it's not so much the spirit. That's not, a bedsheet ghost is not necessarily the what the spirit of the person looks like, more as it's the shroud that person is covered in when the body reanimates and they come back to life.
Yeah, I guess we're saying you can't change clothes in death.
I guess so.
You're like a cartoon character, same outfit every day.
I guess so. This created one of the earliest connections between fabric and the spectral image of a ghost. Christianity reinforced this imagery through its emphasis on resurrection and the afterlife. So again, one of the most storied ideas of a burial shroud was the Shroud of Turin. This idea that this was what Jesus was wrapped in, and when he was resurrected, the energy that it took to resurrect Jesus was imprinted on this shroud.
Ooh.
So religious art frequently depicted souls and angels in flowing white robes, connecting the color whites and draped fabric to spiritual beings. The blending of burial places and religious symbolism solidified the ghostly association with white cloths. Again, that Shroud of Turin that I told you about is a big part of that imagery, that religious Catholic imagery.
Oh.
In the 17th and 18th century folklore, you have reports of, in the early modern period, accounts of ghosts in Britain and continental Europe, frequently described as sheeted figures, kind of like this shot from
Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo. That is,
You can just kind of tell that's Scooby-Doo, right?
yeah, you know what? That is definitely like, you see that animation?
Zoinks.
That is definitely like 1960s, 70s Hanna-Barbera.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Classic
just,
ghosts.
there are certain cartoon images that you see them and you're like, oh yeah, that's the Transformers, 1985.
Right.
You see-
He-Man. Yeah. Those guys,
Not Goofy.
Flintstones.
The Jetsons. Like there's certain animation styles, like this one is locked in. It's keyed in there. The Spectator magazine in 1711 published satirical accounts of ghost sightings, specifically noting their appearances as figures in white sheets, showing that the stereotype was already well established in the early 1700s. Legal records from this period also mention ghost hoaxes, where pranksters dressed up in sheets to scare travelers or neighbors. In some cases, these hoaxes resulted in panic, injuries, or even deaths. Given the bedsheet ghosts are a real social impact. And of course, you have the early period of photography and camera work where people would figure out how to make one of those images. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know the word for it.
No, I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But this was like the first example of Photoshop, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Except this was done in camera. And I think the way they did it was like they would take a photo on film and then take another photo, changing the exposure, and then just kind of merge the two. So, yeah, Photoshop in the 1700s, I guess. In Elizabethan theater and beyond, stage depictions of ghosts often captured actors cloaked in white because it's easy. You can do that. You can put an actor in a sheet and go, it's a ghost, because everybody knew that's what ghosts look like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's lazy to think that a dead person isn't going to get up, stretch, and change clothes. But I guess you're not really too interested in that if you're dead. Like, I guess the vanity, you've never seen like a zombie or a ghost be vain. Like, oh, I don't care. I need to fix my hair. Oh, I need to wear this right shirt. It's like, I'm
Facts.
dead. Who cares?
True. Absolutely.
So, okay. This is more believable through my own mental gymnastics that, this is how we could see the undead or the ghosts.
Okay, so you're just rationalizing this.
Yeah, I could see how people would think that.
Okay.
I could see how people could think.
Okay. Costuming was also symbolic and functional. Audiences could immediately identify the ghost's character on stage by their white drapery. The theatrical tradition strongly influenced how people imagine ghosts in the collective culture of imagination. So basically, it was the wardrobe department going, hey, we need an easy way to show that this person is a ghost.
Right.
So it was the wardrobe department of 18th century England that really...
Gotta have a good wardrobe department, no matter what you're working on. Gotta have a good wardrobe department.
Good wardrobe department, good craft services. You keep the crew and the cast fed and happy, you're going to have a good show.
Yeah.
Have a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nothing says ghost like this. That's ghost. That's a ghost right there.
The 19th century saw a rise in spiritualism and ghost photography, further cementing the bedsheet image. Early spirit photographs like this one often used double exposures to create translucent figures in white. That's what I was talking about, double exposures.
Double exposure.
Not to be confused with Double Impact, the great film by Jean-Claude Van Damme in, I believe, 1989.
Is that with Dennis Rodman?
Oh my God, was that with Dennis Rodman? It was the one where he played twins.
Oh, no.
One had a gun, one had fists. I could be wrong on that as well.
Man, we used to be a proper nation.
We used to be a proper nation. Ghostly shapes resembling draped fabric reinforce the established motif of these creatures. Like this in this double exposure photo. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it. If you're just listening on the interwebs, you're not. There were ghost shows, seances, and stage tricks of the Victorian era frequently used white cloths to create the illusion of spirits materializing. And then you have the transition to Halloween symbolism. By the late 19th and early 20th century, Halloween traditions in the Americas were becoming crystallized. You have children dressed as ghosts. Naturally, that turned into like household items. And, it's easy for kids to just grab a sheet and cut a hole in it.
Yeah.
And then have your mom go, why is there a hole in this sheet? And then just beat the ever-loving crap out of you. Because it was the 80s. That's when they hit kids. That's when you were, you know what? It wasn't child abuse because dad was sober.
Was it child abuse because it was with a purpose?
Yeah.
It was real.
He
It was
didn't
a
come home.
sport.
He didn't come home drunk and angry that he worked his crappy shift at his crappy job. That is child abuse. When you come home and your kids cut holes in the sheets, that's discipline.
It's a cry for help, honestly. If you're cutting sheets up apart, it's a cry for help. And honestly, to defend the dads, if you stay drunk, you don't got to get drunk. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's a different way. That's a different way to put that. Children dressed as ghosts turned easily. That they turned into. Oh, my cats are going crazy.
Because they're the ghosts.
Yeah, as ghosts. Sometimes I genuinely sometimes think that like they're staring into nothing.
No.
And I'm like, what are you guys looking at?
They can see. I think animals can see things that we can't see.
Totally. I totally think animals can see. I mean, there's that thing where they know an earthquake is coming before it actually comes. Yeah, you never heard that? Animals can sense like when earthquakes are coming. They know when a storm is coming. Oh yeah, they sense changes in the atmosphere. All that stuff. I definitely think my cats talk to ghosts. Genuinely, like that's not I'm not being facetious.
Really?
That's a real thing. Like sometimes I'll just sit. There's one of them that comes in this room. That one actually. She comes in the room. She just sits on my rug, staring into the sky, and then starts chirping.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, she is definitely talking to a ghost. I sound like a madman. Of course, there is a simple design of the ghost. It's literally just a sheet with eye holes cut out that became accessible and instantly recognizable, further entrenching the bedsheet ghost as a cultural symbol. So now let's talk about some pop culture references. What pop culture references can you think of involving bedsheet ghosts? I mean, we just saw one.
Specific bedsheet ghosts. Yeah, I mean, other than, old men dressed up to scare Scooby and the gang. I don't know, just like
pop culture references. Like,
well, right, but like, yeah, it's like, okay, it might have been in Boy Meets World where this kid can't afford a costume, so his mom cuts the bed sheet.
Was that an episode of Boy Meets World?
I mean, but it could have been,
Of course, could have been. 18th century Gothic literature often describes ghosts as white draped figures drawing from the folklore. Later children's literature and ghost stories simplify this into the bedsheet image, making it less frightening and more iconic. In early films, like silent films, such as Haunted House in 1908 and The Ghost Breakers of 1940, featured bedsheet ghosts both as serious apparitions and comedic devices. The imagery became a staple of horror comedies, especially as bedsheet ghosts became shorthand for ghost, like as the sheet, which is like, you see a sheet and you immediately think it's going to be a ghost. Maybe the most famous filmic bedsheet ghost of modern times appears in A Ghost Story, 2017, where a visually simplistic white sheet over a figure is used for deeply philosophical and haunting effect. Cartoons, of course, animated shorts from early 20th century, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, which I just found out. Do you remember when they made a Casper the Friendly Ghost movie with Christina Ricci?
Christina Ricci?
Ricci. What did I say? Ricci? Christina Ricci. Do you remember that?
And Bill Pullman?
I think it might be Bill Pullman. I just found out that there is an entire generation of now women who were young when that came out who got horny for Casper because the kid that played Casper apparently was a handsome young man. It might have been like a Jonathan Taylor Thomas or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not him. But apparently, I didn't know this, whole generation of women horny for Casper.
Really?
Horny for Casper.
His big old round noggin.
Big head. Big-headed, white-sheeted, non-basketball playing Casper.
Getting bullied.
Yeah, just horny for a ghost. I've dated several of those women. Scooby-Doo, countless other children's cartoons use the trope, often revealing the ghost, quote-unquote ghost, as just a person in disguise. Music and art. You have artists in the 20th and 21st century who've embraced bedsheet ghosts as a symbol of innocence, disguise, or melancholy. Musicians have used the image in album covers, music videos, often to evoke nostalgia or play for the concept of fear transformed into simplicity. Video games, you have classic video games like Luigi's Mansion.
Ooh, great video game. Great video game.
What is, in your opinion, the best Super Mario Brothers game?
Ooh, I think Super Mario 2.
Super Mario 2?
Brothers 2. Yeah, 2 or 3. I forget.
Which one
2.
are you talking about? Which one? Describe what you're talking about. Is it the one that's side-scrolling?
Yeah.
That's Super Mario Brothers 2.
But yes, I love 2, but also now that I'm thinking it, I'm like, man, nothing beats Mario Party. Mario Party. It's where it's like basically like you're playing board games, but on the Nintendo.
I genuinely don't know Mario Party.
It's so fun. It's like, usually like a great like 4 to 6 player game, maybe more. And you go around a board. It's like Candyland, but anytime you land on something that's like there's like a group game, and it's really, really fun.
Okay, all right.
What about you? What about you?
My favorite Super Mario Brothers game. Oh man,
because I do love 2, and 2 like kind of like.
But
change the side scrolling 8-bit, 16-bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, 2 wasn't actually a Super Mario Brothers game. It was like it was another game that they reskinned as Super Mario Brothers. That's why it's so different. That's why it's side scrolling. That's why you have different animation style. That's why you're picking fruit out of the ground like radishes, turnips, like we talked about in the jack-o'-lantern episode.
Yeah.
I like 2. Honestly, I'm going to be very real. I'm going to be open and emotional and very
brave.
I don't know if brave is the word.
So strong.
In my life, I've only played 4 Super Mario Brothers games.
Whoa. What?
Super Mario Brothers 1, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, and Mario World for the Game Boy.
Really? Not Mario Kart? Never played Mario Kart?
I tried to play Mario Kart with Brad Williams and a buddy of ours in Amsterdam. And I was so bad at it.
Yeah, make sure you pick that name up.
They were like just... Yeah, thanks. By the way, I'm on tour with Brad Williams this fall.
There you go.
I believe this is when this comes out, we will be playing Buffalo, Philly, Washington, D.C., and then Seattle.
Bring a Nintendo with you and play.
Should I get a Nintendo or should I get a Switch?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. But play like Mario Party or play Mario Kart. For sure.
I feel like.
It's fun with friends.
I feel like if I get a Switch, like I've been wanting to get one of those consoles where there's like 1,000 games on it, or like 2,000 games or 5,000. You know, there's like $50 on Amazon. I've been thinking about getting that, and I'm like, how much time would I waste? How much time would I waste?
This is the
on
guy
this
you're
thing?
like, oh, I don't have time for fantasy football. And then you're like, oh, I have time for every handheld game ever made.
That's why I haven't bought it yet. It's only $50.
Oh, true. Yeah. Fantasy football for me, not going well. And that's $200 not well spent.
You have to pay to play that?
Well, I mean, you don't have to pay to play, but like the winner gets all the money. You know, you put into everyone, 10 people put in $200.
That's
It's fun.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Get a Game Boy or get a.
I want to get one of
Switch or
those things.
something.
Just so I have like Tetris, Ninja Gaiden, Contra,
The Tick.
Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
Like I want those 8-bit
Donkey Kong.
Nintendo games. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Ghosts. Luigi's Mansion was one of the games that ghosts are featured in, among like dozens. I'm sure. The simplicity of the design makes it both functional, and the animation is universally recognizable. You have a cultural legacy of bedsheet ghosts being a symbol of both childhood innocence and deep-rooted historical traditions. Do you feel that? When you see a bedsheet ghost, do you think childhood innocence?
Do I think childhood innocence? I think some kids are trying to scare you. It's like some lowbrow kids trying to scare you. So, I mean, I guess the innocence of not pranking somebody in a more harmful way than I suppose. Kids can be maniacal, but there's something innocent about just putting a little sheet over your head, cutting the holes in it, and then what if it's like a fitted sheet and then you got these two holes and like you can see your mattress.
I guess now that I think about it, yeah, it would be a symbol of innocence because it's so simple. You have these people who dress up for Halloween, take Halloween very seriously, who have very intricate costumes, some that are very dark, and then you have just a kid throws a sheet over his head.
It's an innocent thing, but it could also be very easily a punishment for a child that pees the bed.
I did not think about that until this very moment, and that's triggering for me.
You used to pee the bed?
I still pee the bed sometimes. I still, to this day, wake up and like, is this sweat?
You're just lazy.
California?
You're just lazy. You're like, fine, I'll just piss in this bed.
And while it seems cartoonish or whimsical, its history reflects centuries of burial practices, religious symbolism, folklore, and evolving cultural attitudes towards death and the supernatural. The image of a bedsheet ghost, like the one you see right here, it bridges the gap between fear and playfulness, making it one of the most enduring and widely understood images in the global imagination of the supernatural. Peter, that is our episode on bedsheet ghosts. What say you?
I don't know. I don't know if... Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think these are real. If you're dead, you're not changing out of your clothes. You're just like, yeah, this is me now. Don't look at me. I'm a ghost. And yeah, I'm in. If I see a ghost, it's looking something like this.
Yeah, man. What
do you think?
I think it really is, that idea of people being buried in the shroud and the fear of seeing a body reanimated. I think that's what's scary about that. Somebody's under a sheet, they're dead, and then you see that sheet rise up.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Like anytime you watch a movie where somebody's in a morgue and the bodies are covered, there's an episode in Star Trek: The Next Generation where like somebody's in a bay with a bunch of dead bodies, and then they start coming up. It's very scary. As silly as this image is, as silly as this image of people in sheets. I mean, that one's a little creepier. That's like a little gothic stylistic, but like this one, as silly as that is. If you saw that coming at you and it was floating and you didn't see feet, that's scary as hell, man.
Not for me.
Get out of here. That'd be creepy as hell.
Not for me. No, thank you.
So,
Not
yeah, I mean,
interested.
not really cryptid. Again, because of spooky season, we're talking about myth and mythology and legends and things like that around Halloween. We'll get back to the cryptids after spooky season. But this was our episodes on Bedsheet Ghosts. Peter, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Get this. So you can find me at youtube.com/Peter Murphy YouTube. You can find me at petermurphythecomedian.com. If you go there right now, some really fun information. And if you're on social media scrolling away, go to Peter_Murphy on Instagram.
I am at _Thom Tran, THOMTRAN on the interwebs. My tour dates, my show dates, so I'll be out with Brad Williams this fall, if I'm not already out.
There
with
you
Brad
go.
Williams.
Just go and pick that up.
After I opened for David Spade in Chicago, which was long after this episode comes out. You can find me on the interwebs. My tour dates my tour dates are thomtran.com. That's my website. The show is at Cryptids and Comedians on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Definitely at YouTube, at Cryptids and Comedians. You can watch the show if you're just listening to this on your favorite podcatcher. You can watch the entire episode with photos and everything. I put a lot of effort into this. And by a lot of effort, I mean I pay an intern nothing to do this. Check us up on YouTube. Like the episode, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. It's going to help us keep doing this. It's fun. I like this so far. And it's been a good time. You can leave a 5-star comment on your favorite podcaster of choice. Leave a comment. We'll read about it. Tell us about your favorite cryptid. And once spooky season is over, maybe we'll do an episode about your favorite cryptid. But that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'll come up with a snappy, cool thing to say at the end of the episode one of these days.
See you, Mom.